The auto market bubble has burst. Despite used car values previously surpassing those of housing, fine art, and the stock market, they have now experienced their largest decline in a decade. Electric vehicles are selling for 32% less than a year ago, and owners are falling behind in their payments at the highest rate ever recorded. This indicates that more trouble is expected in the near future. Given the skyrocketing auto default rates among millennials and Gen Z, it is crucial to delve into what is happening, why this will become a significant issue by 2024, and what actions can be taken to stay ahead, because there are significant underlying factors that haven't been widely discussed. Now let's begin by addressing a noticeable trend over the past few years: the increasing cost of purchasing a car. In fact, as I've mentioned before, up until recently, 80% of new cars were selling above the manufacturer's suggested retail price, MSRP. This begs the question, what is driving this trend, and how serious are the repercussions? The reason behind the previously thriving car prices can be attributed to four main factors, which are now reaching their end. First, limited production has played a significant role. Manufacturing a vehicle requires various components, including a little-known but crucial piece: chips. These semiconductors enable cars to control their functioning, encompassing everything from windows and sensors to ignition and navigation. Despite the fact that modern cars need over 3,000 of these chips, which might seem like a substantial amount, the auto industry only utilizes less than 3% of the global chip supply, with the remainder allocated to consumer electronics. Consequently, manufacturing delays, labor shortages, and a supply chain crisis caused a shortage of semiconductor chips, resulting in fewer new cars being built and artificially low inventory, thus maintaining high prices. Secondly, we have low interest rates. Until the beginning of 2023, buyers could secure historically low interest rates with terms as long as 12 years. This mirrored the real estate market, making cars more affordable to purchase. However, this excess demand led to record-high car payments, currently averaging $753 per month. Auto loans have now become the third largest debt category, following mortgages and student loans, amounting to around $1.5 trillion. Just like in the housing market, increased purchasing power among Americans drove car prices higher. Thirdly, longer ownership is a contributing factor. Similar to homeowners choosing to stay put due to locked-in low fixed-rate mortgages, car owners are also holding onto their vehicles for longer periods. This choice has prevented used car supplies from rebounding. After all, if one can afford their existing car payment, why go for a brand new vehicle with a fresh loan, additional taxes, and potential problems when the existing car suffices? Lastly, greed plays a role. While not unexpected in business, automakers recognized that they could charge more by manufacturing fewer vehicles. This strategy increased scarcity, which, combined with the other factors, boosted prices in the auto market. In a recent article by Kelley Blue Book, it was revealed that automakers are deliberately undersupplying vehicles to manipulate demand and maintain their pricing power. This strategy has significant implications for the future of the auto market, and it is a more significant problem than most people realize. The decline in car prices has been substantial. CarGuru, a website that monitors vehicle values, has reported that prices have dropped by up to 1% in the last 30 days. The most significant decrease has been observed in Tesla, with prices now 33% lower than they were a year ago. In fact, Tesla's price cuts to boost sales have triggered a ripple effect, causing other automakers to reduce their prices to remain competitive. Additionally, there is an interesting shift in the market, as used electric vehicles are outnumbering new vehicles for sale. This trend is gradually eroding the market share of new vehicles. Furthermore, it is worth noting that crossover vehicles have experienced a 6.3% decline in prices year over year, while hatchbacks and wagons have seen drops of 9.1% and 9.8% respectively. Vans, however, have been hit the hardest, with prices falling by more than 10%. Despite this decline, it is essential to recognize that overall prices are still higher than they were before the pandemic. Nevertheless, the question arises as to how far prices can fall and why the entire auto industry is at risk of a complete collapse. It is important to understand the potential consequences of declining prices in the auto industry. If left unchecked, this downward trend could lead to a complete collapse of the industry. However, the extent of the decline remains uncertain. In terms of the potential decline in car prices and the risks involved in the auto industry, let's start by examining the dealership aspect. Carriage, a highly regarded YouTube channel, which I highly recommend you check out below in the description, has shed light on one of the biggest risks faced by sellers: interest rates. Dealerships often rely on lines of credit to purchase their inventory rather than using cash. This means that the cars you see on their lots have been financed. With interest rates currently at their highest level in 20 years, every day a dealership fails to sell a car translates to significant financial losses. For instance, 2 years ago, the holding costs for a pickup truck on a lot amounted to only $2 to $4 per day in interest. However, now it surpasses $12 per day. Consequently, dealerships become highly motivated to sell off their existing inventory, as they may start losing money on cars that remain unsold for too long. Moving on, we come to the auto loan bubble. It is common knowledge that cars generally do not appreciate in value. While exceptions like the years 2020 to 2022 may exist, it is historically observed that buying a car results in immediate depreciation. On average, a car loses 11% of its value as soon as it is driven off the lot, 25% within a year, 46% after 3 years, and a staggering 63% within 5 years. This depreciation can be attributed to factors such as the aging of technology, wear and tear, and the introduction of newer designs. The problem arises when banks and lenders provide loans for cars that were being sold at significantly inflated prices, primarily due to high demand, low inventory, and easily accessible funds. For instance, 2 years ago, banks wouldn't have hesitated to offer a loan for a $50,000 Toyota Corolla, because that was the market value that buyers were willing to pay. However, today, individuals are finding themselves underwater on their loans by an average amount of $6,000 when they decide to trade in their cars. Imagine taking out a $40,000 loan on a car that is currently worth only $20,000. If you can no longer afford the monthly payment of $700, your options are limited. Selling the car is not possible since you don't have the $20,000 required to pay off the loan. Refinancing is also out of the equation due to higher interest rates. Consequently, many people are choosing to abandon their loans, returning the car to the bank and leaving them to bear the financial loss.